What's up, y'all? JR Raymond back again, coming to you from home for a special edition type video. Now, this is not a bowling video. This is not anything that is anything normal for any of my content that I put on here normally. So if you're looking for bowling content, go watch the other videos. This is something I was thinking about. This is for anybody that likes to think about the universe, to think about God, what happens after death, stuff like that. If you're not into that stuff, feel free not to watch this video. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable or any of that. But I think it's really interesting, and I want to put this out there for my followers to see, because that's why I have this platform, right? Not only just for bowling, but to kind of put my views and stuff out there as well. So if you're not into this type of thing, that's okay. You don't have to watch it. I mean, you're more than welcome to tell me your views. You can tell me you don't like it. You can unfollow me, unsubscribe, whatever it may be, just because of this. But I just want to let you know that I'm not putting this out there to offend anybody. I'm not trying to push any beliefs on anybody. I'm just trying to put my thoughts out there. And maybe you align with it. Maybe this helps somebody. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not really sure. But I feel like I need to put this out there because I think a lot of people are having these questions. I have these questions and I want to know myself. So I did a few TikToks to kind of put this out there. So let me know what you think of this. It's a four-part little thing of 3-minute videos. So it's like 12 minutes long or something. My thoughts on the afterlife and all that. So just kind of pay attention. It's not the greatest video because it was just done with my phone, just like a little TikTok, like I said. But give it a thumbs up if you agree. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, just move on. Don't try not to be negative and everything. Again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I just felt like I wanted to put this out there. So hopefully you enjoy. Note to self, more so note to everybody. Conversation with everybody. So if you are into the universe, into God, those types of scenarios, I guess God's not really a scenario in my eyes, but just listen up. Listen to the end. Here's my theory on some things. Now, maybe out there. I don't know. I know there's a bunch of nerds like me out there who like to think about this stuff and talk about it too. But I have a problem with thinking about the end of time, like the end of my life, So I'm always thinking about my consciousness, my soul. And it's always a thought of, I try to take into perspective, like, okay, there's atheists out there. There's people who don't believe anything happens. So then I start thinking about myself, and I'm like, it can't just end. Like, where would my thoughts go? Where would my consciousness go? Where would my soul go? Like, and I know technically there hasn't been proven a soul or anything, but there's just way too much evidence out there that says there's too much evidence that says there's an afterlife or there's something that happens afterwards, in my opinion. So here's what I think my mind's kind of starting to go with this whole thing with heaven and hell and all that. I do believe in heaven and hell. I believe there is absolutely one God, and he created the universe. In fact, what I'm starting to believe is he created multiple universes. He created more like a parallel universe or multiple parallel universes. And what we are currently in right now is technically hell, a version of hell. I think what happens when we die is we reach judgment with God. And I know all the Bible people are going to be like, no, that's not what it says in the Bible, whatever else. But it doesn't technically say that it doesn't happen. It doesn't say any of this stuff. It really doesn't tell us what exactly happens. So it's left for up for interpretation, this is what I'm doing. I'm interpreting. I think because of their multiple universes and whatnot, we are given a chance to live the life we're in, live the best we can to try to live up to what we need to in order to make it into heaven, in order to be in heaven. I think we've lived multiple lives in multiple universes to where, we've changed or we've been given different circumstances each and every time and different opportunities, different ways of, showing that, we can make the better decision each time. And when you die, if you haven't finally realized that, yes, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe he died on the cross for me, until you finally get to that stage, when you die, you actually get sent to an alternate universe to try again. And you live your life in a different way. Hold on for part 2. So we were just talking about basically a multiverse where when you die, you get sent back. If you haven't reached the point where you could make it into heaven, you get sent back. And the reason I believe we are given chance after chance, more or less like, reincarnation, if you will, want to call it that, is because, everybody always asks that question, if God is so loving, why would he ever send anybody to hell? And they try to explain it off and they try to say, well, he doesn't send anybody to hell. It's your own choice. It's your own choices. So I agree with that. It is your own choice. So I think what happens is, like I was saying, this is a version of hell. Like, that's why we go through so much pain and suffering and everything on earth, is because it is hell. I mean, it's literally, that's why some people label it as, hell on earth. It's pretty much how it is, because just think of all the traumas, all the things that have gone on in your life, and the reason why we remember it, and the reasons why, we are in so much, dismay, and so much, there's so many tribulations and trials and stuff that we go through. And I think it's just all a big test. It's all to get us through to be able to get to our true life in heaven, in the afterlife. So because God loves us so much, he sends us back to an alternate universe, or even maybe the same universe, who knows, and gives us a chance to try again. Because he doesn't want to send us to an eternal hell. Like, I believe there's probably is an eternal hell. I believe there is another version of hell that, people just, maybe you only get so many chances before you're sent to an eternal hell. But I believe God really doesn't want you to go to an eternal hell. So he gives you all, new circumstances, a new life, new chances to try to make the right decisions and do the right things. And I think that kind of goes in with, like deja vu. I know people always say, it's like, man, I feel like I've done this before. Because I don't think that you live the same life again. I think you get a lot of the same circumstances, but then when those big decisions come up, you're offered these alternate things. And I think deja vu is one of those ways that kind of alters your mind and makes you choose a different way, because it's like, man, I've seen this before. Maybe I need to think about some of the things and some of the choices that I'm making beforehand, because this could be detrimental to my life. This could be detrimental to the people around me, so it's really hard to think about what actually happens. Like, do we really want to believe that we live this one life and then it's either you go to hell or you go to heaven? Is that the case? I don't know. Stay tuned. Part 3 coming. All right, part 3 here. So I want to back up a little bit and go back to the whole heaven on or hell on earth scenario. The reason why we're in such a battle, and the reason why I consider earth to be hell, is because we know Satan resides here. Satan can't reside in heaven. Satan resides here. So this is technically hell, because that's where Satan is. Satan is from more or less hell, I guess, right? So it's a battle for our soul. So we are given all these chances, and Satan is down here on earth constantly trying to pull us in the wrong directions, lying to us, trying to get us to believe that the wrong decision is the right decision, that lust is the way to go, that, stealing and just crime is the way to go. And when we keep choosing that path, we keep coming back to hell. We keep returning to where Satan is. So Satan is trying to keep our souls here on earth, while God is trying to give us chances to get it right, to get ourselves out of hell, away from Satan, to heaven with him. Crazy, I know. But if you really think about it, all it takes is just believing in Jesus, just believing in, Jesus dying on the cross. It's when you actually, I don't even get in really debates with people anymore about whether Jesus existed or whether that, because when anybody that really wants to know will go do the research. Anybody that really wants to know will look at the historical evidence behind all of the things that happened, with all of the scholars and everybody that's looked at it and said, yeah, that all actually happened. We can't explain how he brought people back to life and everything, but people witnessed it. This was all obviously, this truly happened. We can't explain it. The only explanation is one explanation: God. The entire story. That's the only explanation. And the Bible is the only thing that has that much historical data, that much historical evidence behind it. So what happens afterwards, we have no idea. I'm not saying I'm right about all this by any means, It's just with observing and looking at the way everything is, and with deja vu and thinking of God not wanting to send you to hell, not wanting you to stay in hell, this just makes sense to me. I don't know. Does it make sense to you? Really think about it. Like, maybe make your own video and tell me what you think. How do you think this really plays out? Is it really just one life and then it's either hell or heaven? Or do we get multiple chances? I don't know. Let me know. All right, so this will be the final part, because there's still one more thing I want to address, which is the near-death experiences. So we talked about how you can, or it seems like God sends us back to an alternate universe to relive life and with different circumstances to make correct decisions and all that for an opportunity to get to heaven. He puts things in front of you almost like a fork. Like, you got all these decisions with forks in the road and you have to choose the right decision. Which will lead you to the belief in God, to belief in Jesus and all that. And once you finally get to that point where you wholeheartedly believe in the crucifixion of Jesus, he died on the cross for us and all of that, then you can finally get to a space where you can go to heaven at the end and you stop coming back to hell on earth, basically. But with these near-death experiences, I talked about how they want to give you that chance. I think that's another example of God giving you that chance again. You have a near-death experience, and all these people talk about how they meet Jesus or they meet God or they go to heaven, and God says, it's not quite yet your time. You need to go back. And that's like one of those chances where it's like, okay, now I can live the rest of my life and finally get to that point. That's like, maybe it was the last life, the last chance for you to finally get to your place to where you believe in God, to where you can finally give your life to Jesus. And that's his way of saying, this is your last chance. I'm going to show you me. It's your near-death experience. You're going to see me. If you still choose not to believe, you're on your own in hell, like eternal hell, not hell on earth. So I think that's why sometimes people, and again, this is all just theory, I have no idea, but I think that's why some people go through these near-death experiences, because it's their final chance to really believe and to change the way they think, to change their life, to help other people get there. And I think that's another reason why I'm making these videos, is to get people thinking. Are you thinking about life after death? Are you thinking about Jesus? Have you read any of this stuff? I know there's going to be atheists, there's going to be people that come on here and call me crazy and everything. That's fine. But some of you are going to look at this and you're going to think about it and you're going to say, you know what? Maybe he's right. I probably should look into this. So maybe this saves lives. I don't know. But I think I just felt like I needed to make this series of videos to get people thinking, because it always has me thinking. So maybe this is your opportunity. Don't miss it. So again, I know there's going to be people out there that are going to comment and they're going to be like, oh, there is no God, there is no this. You're a bowler, stick to bowling, stuff like that. Whatever. Go for it, have at it, unsubscribe, do what you want to do. But this is something that always has me thinking. Maybe it'll get you thinking a little bit too. I'm not pushing anybody to believe any which way. I'm just, maybe you should start thinking about what really does happen. And if you don't care, you don't care. That's okay. Nobody has to care. You don't have to care about anything other than your own life. That's fine. But I just wanted to put this out there. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys later.